Welcome to the deep dive, where we take complex stuff, pull out the key insights, and hopefully make it, engaging for you.
Glad to be diving in.
So today, we're looking at something really intriguing. Picture this. You check into a super fancy, top-tier hotel. Everything's elegant, service is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Only then you find out it's actually the predicted spot for a serial killer's next attack.
Yeah, that's the core setup for Keigo Higasino's Masquerade Hotel, and it's just brilliant.
So that's our mission today, right? To unpack this mystery. How does a series of seemingly unconnected murders all lead to this one grand hotel?
Exactly. And what Higasino does so well is throw these two worlds together. You've got the police investigation, meticulous, gritty work,
Right.
smashing right up against Japanese hospitality and Watanashi.
Mm-hmm.
This deep-seated philosophy of service.
Okay, and for this deep dive, what are we working with?
We're using excerpts from the brand new English translation of Masquerade Hotel. It's by Kabid Hasan and Saleh Ahmed Mubin, put out by Wriddho Prokash. So we get a really direct feel for the setup, the characters, the mystery itself.
Perfect. So it's not just about the plot twists. It's this collision of mindsets. Police suspicion versus hotel trust, all happening while they're hunting a killer.
Precisely. And you have to wonder, what kind of killer basically sends out an announcement for their next target? And why a hotel?
Yeah, why there? So let's get into the police side first. What triggered this whole thing?
Well, it started pretty grimly for the Tokyo police. They realized they had a serial killer on their hands. 3 victims confirmed.
Okay.
But what was initially confusing, and maybe threw them off a bit, was that the way each person was killed, it was different. Varied methods made linking them tricky at first.
Ah, okay, so different methods, but something must have screamed serial killer. What was the clincher? The thing that tied it all together?
It was this really specific, a peculiar clue. A cryptic numerical message left at every single crime scene. That was the constant thread.
Numbers. Okay, tell me about the victims and these numbers.
Right, so victim 1, Tetsuharu Okadaira, found October 4th in his car near Shinagawa Seaside Station, strangulation, blunt force trauma, and in his car, the first message, 45.761871, 143.803944.
This number's weird. Victim 2?
Fumio Noguchi, middle-aged woman, found October 10th in a building under construction. Also strangulation, attacked from behind. This time the note with numbers 45.648055, 149.80829 was made from, cut-out letters, old-school ransom note style, found under her clothes.
Oh, wait, getting creepier. And the third?
Kazui Hatanaka, a 55-year-old teacher, found October 18th on his usual jogging route. Blunt force trauma to the head, but no strangulation this time. See? Different again. But in his windbreaker pocket, another note, 45.678738, 157.788585. So despite all the differences, victims, locations, methods, these numbers were the undeniable link, the killer's signature.
So they had this thread, these numbers. How did they figure out what they actually meant?
That was the breakthrough. They decoded them. They weren't just random digits. Someone realized they're geographical coordinates, latitude and longitude.
Oh, wow, like GPS coordinates?
Exactly. Pinpointing any spot on Earth. And when they plotted them out, the location they pointed to for the predicted 4th murder was, well, the Masquerade Hotel.
Unbelievable. So the killer basically sent them the address. What do the police do? They can't just storm the place.
No, that would tip the killer off. So they decide on an undercover operation. They send in Detective Nita from Shinagawa Police. His mission, pose as a front desk clerk, named Sikin now.
Just blend in and spot the killer among potentially hundreds of guests. That sounds intense.
Extremely. Especially because his trainer at the hotel is Naomi Yamagishi. And she is, the absolute embodiment of the hotel's service philosophy.
Omotenashi, you mentioned.
Yes, omotenashi. It's this unique Japanese idea of wholehearted service, anticipating needs, fulfilling them perfectly, almost selflessly. It's all about trust, discretion, impeccable attention to detail.
Okay, I can already see the problem here. Nid is a cop. He's trained to be suspicious, look for lies, bend the rules if he needs to catch the bad guy.
Right.
And Naomi's world is built on the exact opposite. Trust the guests, protect their privacy, follow the rules to the letter. It's oil and water, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you see it immediately. The moment Nita starts his training, Naomi is critiquing everything. His posture's too stiff, his hair is wrong, the way he looks at people is too direct too, well, police-like.
Like he sticks out like a sore thumb.
Totally. She basically tells him he doesn't look or act like hotel staff at all, and he'll make guests suspicious, which ironically is the last thing they want if the killer is among them.
And Nita must be going crazy.
Oh, he is. He even says it outright, something like, look, my job isn't to be a great hotel employee, it's to catch a murderer. He struggles massively with this fake role, this masquerade.
There's that great example, the bathrobe incident, right, that really shows the clash.
Yes, it's perfect. Nita immediately suspects a guest, Mr. Furuhashi, might have stolen a bathrobe. Typical detective thinking, observe suspicious behavior, potential theft.
Makes sense from his perspective.
But Naomi, absolutely not. She insists on handling it with extreme politeness, following hotel procedure exactly, no direct accusations, definitely no searching bags without permission or a proper warrant. She even has to step in because Nita's direct approach really offends the guest.
You must have been thinking, are you kidding me? A bathrobe? There's a killer here.
You can just imagine his frustration. It highlights how fundamentally different their priorities and methods are. But interestingly, it's actually Naomi, with Nita's nudging, who connects the dots on the coordinates.
She figures out the numbers are latitude and longitude.
Yeah, he explains the concept, and she has that aha moment. That's what really cements the hotel as the target in both their minds. It solidifies the threat.
Okay, so the hotel is confirmed as the target, but then things get even more complex, right? There's something about emails.
Yes, another huge break. The police recover emails from the computer of the second victim's husband, Noguchi Yasuhiko.
And these emails?
They reveal this chilling sort of coordinated plan, emails flying back and forth between people identified only as by 1, by 2, by 3, and by 4, and by 2 is Noguchi Yasuhiko.
Codenames? What were they planning?
They refer to things like Plan 1E, which was marked completed on October 4th, the date of the first murder. Then Plan 2E, completed October 11th, lining up with the second murder.
Wow.
And there's talk about 3's workplace and plan. And 4 is specifically told to finish their job at the designated place.
Right.
It strongly suggests this isn't just one killer, but maybe a group working together.
A conspiracy. So Nita's trying to find one killer among the guests, but maybe it's more complicated. Does he have any early suspects?
He does. He starts looking at Tashima Masahiro. This guy used to work with the first victim, Okudaira.
Why him?
Because apparently, Okudaira had suddenly started living this really lavish lifestyle, way beyond his means. Nita found that suspicious. Tashima had an alibi for the first murder he was on the phone with his ex-girlfriend.
Okay. Seems solid.
Well, the phone records checked out, but Nita just had a gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
He thought the alibi felt arranged. Too convenient, maybe.
Trusting his cop instincts.
Right. But then, someone Nita initially kind of wrote off proves really helpful. Detective Knows.
Knows? What about him?
Nita saw him as maybe a bit slow, unremarkable. But when Nita starts theorizing that the killer, or maybe one of the victims, must have some connection to the Masquerade Hotel itself,
Yeah.
Knows pipes up and reveals he has this huge network of contacts, including a friend at another police station. He offers to dig into the past victims, see if they had any hotel stays, any connections.
Huh. So don't judge a book by its cover, even in the police force.
Exactly. It shows that valuable insights can pop up from anywhere. Meanwhile, the hotel itself is basically turning into, well, a temporary police station.
Right. You mentioned the covert operation.
Yeah, there's a special investigation team led by a guy named Inagaki, set up in one of the rooms. They're tapping into the hotel's CCTV, even secretly installing some new cameras.
All under wraps.
Absolutely. The number one priority. The killer must not realize the police are onto them, or that they're even there. It would blow the whole thing.
And while all this is going on, the actual hotel guests are adding their own layers of weirdness, right? Making Nita's job even harder.
Oh, definitely. Like this one guest, Anna Arago. She checks in, gives Naomi a photo of some guy, and demands he be kept away from her room. Seems like, relationship drama.
Standard hotel stuff, maybe a restraining order situation or something.
You'd think so. But it turns out later it was all a setup, a distraction.
Yeah.
Arago was actually helping Nita, she's a friend of his, trying to subtly gather info for the police by creating this scene.
Wow. So even the seemingly normal guest interactions could be part of the game. That's complex.
Very. It shows how easily that trust-based hotel environment can be manipulated, even by the good guys.
Any other notable guests causing trouble for Nita?
Yeah, there's this guy, Kurihara. He apparently recognizes Nita from high school. And he seems to be deliberately trying to wind Nita up, push his buttons.
Why?
It seems like he almost wants Nita to lose his cool break character, maybe get himself fired from his fake hotel job. It just adds another layer of psychological pressure on Nita, who's already struggling to keep up the facade.
Man, talk about pressure. And wasn't there a big event happening at the hotel, too? Something about a wedding?
Yes, that becomes crucial. A wedding between Keiko Takabayashi and Noriyuki Watanabe. And suddenly that E from the coded email plans, line 1E, Plan 2E starts to look very significant.
Ah, maybe E stands for something related to the wedding, engagement, event.
Exactly what they start thinking. And there's this small detail the hotel staff mentioned the bridal suite wasn't just booked for the wedding night, but for 2 days beforehand, for makeup, wardrobe, preparations.
Seems minor, but maybe it's not.
In a Higasino novel, you learn not to dismiss the small details. And there's another guest incident that really highlights Naomi's character. This madame from Katagiri. She complains her room is haunted and demands to be moved.
Haunted? Seriously?
Yeah. Nita's obviously super skeptical, probably thinking it's nonsense or another distraction. But Naomi, she just handles it. Complete professionalism, arranges the room change, treats the complaint with total seriousness, no judgment.
Because Omotenashi demands it, right? Even ghosts get good service.
Pretty much. And later it turns out the guest was just testing the hotel, seeing if they had accommodated a really bizarre request. But it perfectly shows Naomi's unwavering dedication to her principles, even when it seems counterintuitive to the investigation.
Okay, so we have Nita undercover, Naomi upholding service, a possible conspiracy, suspicious guests, a wedding. The tension must be ramping up. How does it head towards the climax?
It really does. The killer makes their next move. A message is delivered through a disguised guest directly to the bride, Keiko Kakabayashi.
The bride. Wow. What does it say?
It reveals the coordinates for the fourth murder. The final act, 46.609755, 144.745043.
So the clock is really ticking now. And delivering it to the bride, that heavily implies the wedding itself is central, doesn't it?
It strongly suggests it. The E-plan, the timing, the location.
Yeah.
It all points towards the wedding party or something happening at the wedding. The killer, by 4, chose this hotel, this event, for a very specific reason. There has to be a connection.
So Nita and Naomi have to stop it. They have the where the hotel and the when, presumably during the wedding festivities. Now they just need the who and how.
Exactly. And they have to do it using their completely different skill sets. Nita's sharp, suspicious detective mind, always looking for the inconsistency, the lie.
Versus Naomi's deep knowledge of the hotel, the guests, her intuition built on empathy and observation of subtle cues Nita might miss because he's too focused on suspicion.
Right. It's this reluctant partnership born out of necessity. These two clashing approaches somehow have to merge to prevent a murder.
So, pulling back a bit, what's the big takeaway from Masquerade Hotel? It's more than just a whodunit, clearly.
Oh, absolutely. It brilliantly uses the mystery plot to explore these deeper themes. Higasino shows how that very ideal of omotenashi, anticipating needs, offering seamless service, creating an atmosphere of trust, paradoxically creates the perfect environment for deception, the ultimate masquerade.
Because everyone is playing a role, in a way. The staff are playing the role of perfect hosts, and the killer is playing the role of an ordinary guest.
Precisely. The hotel's dedication to guest privacy and comfort becomes a shield for the killer. It makes you question whether Nita's relentless suspicion is the only way, or if Naomi's focus on service, on understanding people, holds its own kind of truth. Maybe suspicion can blind you just as much as trust can.
It definitely makes you think about how much we might miss in everyday situations because we're locked into one way of looking at things. The detective sees clues, the hotelier sees guest needs. Both are valid, but incomplete on their own.
Yeah, it's that power of contrasting perspectives. Sometimes you need that friction, that clash between different viewpoints to actually see the whole picture.
It really reveals the hidden complexities beneath seemingly ordinary surfaces, like a luxury hotel, and how subtle clues, things easily dismissed, can be the key.
So maybe a final thought to leave everyone with. In our own lives, how often are we encountering situations where our assumptions, our standard way of viewing things, might just be scratching the surface? Could there be a masquerade playing out that we're missing?
And what could we uncover if we intentionally tried to adopt a completely different perspective, even one that feels counterintuitive, like Nita trying to be Naomi, or vice versa?
Something to definitely mull over. It's about looking beyond the obvious, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, that was a fascinating dive into the world of Masquerade Hotel. Thanks for unpacking that with us.
My pleasure. It's a rich story.